What if the thing that you've been hiding about yourself is exactly what makes you unique? I'm saying this because for years, I had a part of myself that I was ashamed of, that I thought disqualified me from the surfers, from the musicians, and especially from anybody who had chosen a lane and stayed in it. And it turned out to be one of the most special things about me. My name is Samuel, and I'm a surfer, a musician, and someone who grew up across so many countries and cultures that I stopped counting which one I belonged from. I was born in China to British and Italian parents. In China, they call me the English kid. When I moved to Italy, people would call me the Chinese kid. Now I study in the UK, where people think I'm Portuguese because that's where my parents live. In Portugal, people know me as Italian surfer. Some people think I'm a surfer, some people know me as a pianist, others know me as a DJ. I never really felt like I belonged, and for a long, long time, I thought this was the problem. This is the story of what happened when I stopped treating it as a problem, and I stopped trying to fix it. Growing up, the thing I wanted the most was to belong. I feel like I finally had a place somewhere. I had a huge dream of becoming a professional surfer, of making it at the top and reaching the pro level, and being considered upper with all the pros so I could finally belong. The problem was, I wasn't as talented as everyone else, and I started surfing quite late, so nobody believed in me, and people would always tell me it's not worth it. But it was my dream. I believed in myself. I thought that if I worked harder than everybody else, just maybe I could make it. And that motivation was what really pushed me. It was really hard. I had to make a ton of sacrifices. And the hardest parts were when I would train, and then the competition came, and then losing in the first round. It made me feel worthless and really question if everybody was right, if maybe it was not worth it. At the same time, I had a huge passion for music. It was really hard to balance both of them. I was trying to pursue professional surfing, and I felt like music was something I couldn't show to the world because I was scared of what the coaches would think, what the sponsor would think. Is this kid actually taking surfing seriously? So I hid it. I didn't show anybody. And then one day, surfing, for a moment, I belonged. The journey, I love the journey. I was competing, and for one day, the nationals came, and despite all odds, I ended up on the podium. I won the nationals and finished the season ranked as second best surfer. For a moment, I finally belonged. However, that feeling quickly really faded. The World Championships were coming. It was my dream to compete there, then have a spot representing my nation, and I didn't get nominated for them. I came to the realization that a dream that meant so much to me was never going to come true. My whole world collapsed, and I was really considering, what now? And I realized it was one of the hardest kinds of losses. Not because you did everything right, and yet it still didn't happen. I accepted that this kind of loss is one of those that I just simply couldn't control. And that's when I realized that you cannot let something that is out of control define whether you belong or not. In that instant, I felt like I did not belong. At the same time, my passion for music, I started playing the piano at a really young age, at 6 years old. People believed in me, they told me I had talent, but music teachers really frowned upon me. They told me I was not taking piano seriously enough, and I had to stop surfing in order to continue pursuing music. Otherwise, I would never become a great musician. It was really hard. I was unsure what to do. I did not want to stop either. So what I did, I would take my piano, practice in between surf sessions, but still hide my music. I didn't want anybody to hear it because I felt I would get judged, seen as different, and not accepted as a real surfer that I really wanted to be. Until one day, something happened. My surfer friends that I had competed against for years, that I hid my music from, saw me playing in public, and what happened next surprised me. People stayed. And afterwards, one person came up to me telling me how much hearing my music had moved them, and telling me to never give up on music. And that's when it struck me. For years, I felt like I was competing, trying to find my place, belonging in one lane, but I realized when I shouldn't be giving up what makes me myself. So, I started by combining my passions. I wanted to find a purpose. Today, the two things I once tried so hard to hide from the world have become the things that give my life meaning. I thought that I had to make a choice, that being in between was a problem to fix. And I now travel, combining surfing with piano, playing piano in public to raise awareness for ocean conservation. This truly gives my life a purpose. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I feel like a lot of you guys here might have been in a similar situation as me. Maybe you're sitting here feeling you're in between, you have to make a choice that you need to hide a part of yourself to feel accepted. But in reality, you don't have to make a choice between the things you love. So I want to end with something I wish someone would have told me much longer before. Think of everybody that you know that you find original, the people that surprise you, people who you see doing things you never expected them to do, but once walking past that never existed before they walked in. I guarantee you it felt strange at first, and they got there. I bet almost all of them got there, not by choosing one thing and sacrificing everything else, but by refusing to compromise, by going with it. Take the surfer who plays piano, the engineer who paints, the scientist who also writes poetry, the pilot who also happens to be an artist. All of these combinations feel weird at first. They don't fit a neat label. And yet one day they become someone's entire brand, their whole personality, their identity, their contribution to this world. And that person could be you. So follow that strange mix. Follow the mix that makes you you and makes you happy. Don't be afraid to share it with the world. Share it even when it feels strange, because your people will find you. And if I can leave you with one thing for today, it's that this world already has a lot of people trying to squeeze into existing categories. What the world needs and what it has always needed is people brave enough to create new ones and follow their dreams. Believe in yourself. Because the real beauty, the beauty of being in between, is that that's where everything original comes from. Thank you very much.